I'm excited. Yeah, it's good. Why did I hear earlier the battle is over? Yes. Remember this is day 3. Day 3. Elohim was like it gave a prophetic word about in 3 days, and today's day 3. I heard playing earlier, rise up, let it be. I don't know if there was a part that was saying got the word on the shoulder, but rise up, and then it was like let it be. There was other prophetic dream and different things, and of course Elohim always distinguishes between the opposition. There was someone in this dream from PPC. She had no place in being there, and she wasn't the one in reference to things that had transpired before. But in this dream, she had no business. She was not in place. And there were things going on in this dream that were just not in place and not in order, and then stable foundations and all of that kind of stuff. And there were police and firefighters and like all this other stuff. And there was construction, there was builders, and all of these different things and that was going on. And so Elohim is getting all that stuff in order, and it's done. But the exciting stuff is everything that Elohim has been fulfilling yesterday and today in the confirmation. I'm gonna see if I'm trying to pull it up, of a word that came from 2017. A word that came from 2017. I thank the Father for how he's been moving in the Ruach, and even acknowledging us to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper with him, but deeper and deeper and deeper into the questions of why is it that you are doing or want, like people would ask, what is your motive behind it, but why is it? You're like, you're hurting people. Well, why is that a matter to you? Why, if you think that that's the case or that's how you feel, then why does that bother you? Why is that hurting you? Get to the root of that. They talk about therapy, they talk about counsel, wise counsel, but just going deeper and understanding why it is you want to serve, why it is you are a public servant, why it is you are a servant of Elohim, why it is you are a child of Elohim, why do you believe what you believe, why are you holding on to the word or holding on to believe, or why are you having the faith or the hope towards the future, different things that you have. Why do you don't want someone to get hurt, or you care about them, but why do you care about them? And so just different things. So this word, Elohim kept reminding me of 2017, and it reminded me of someone who I'm no longer in contact with, but I met that individual in 2017. But nonetheless, there were other things that the Father kept bringing up about 2017. And this is one of the prophecies. This was around the time, actually, he gave me a vision. This probably was when that vision took place. I would have to go back to my notes, back to my journals. But this is probably when that vision happened. Originally. Maybe it might have been a vision in regard to my husband or something. But I know that there were these other things going on too. There were other ones, but there were different prophecies throughout time that were being released. So this one was from 2014, but this was a reminder in Bible study and in going in a deeper depth of study of we released the word yesterday about the head, the shin, and the legs. So we did a study on, let me go over here. I'm just going to highlight you, but I'm not going to tell you the details. You can do your own study. We did a study on once again on shin, which is 21, head, which is 20, and legs 3. So we did a study on resh, we did a study on shin, and we did a study on gimal, and a total of that is 44. So we did a study on that because every letter, every pictograph of the alphabet has an image. It also has a numerical value and all of that kind of stuff. In Hebraically, the different meanings behind it. And those are things and parts that were being attacked of the body, but also revelation up to what Elohim was doing, has been doing, confirmation of all of that. he was just confirming his word, and he's confirming his revelations and confirming his move. And specifically, it's a highlight and a testament to Elohim, El Shaddai, the Almighty One, but also Elohim means the Almighty, and also the Ruach, the Kodesh fire, and the witness of the book of Acts, the pouring out of the Ruach, the move of the Ruach upon the earth, the blowing of the wind blow. But today I heard the battle is over, and I know that was a reference to his Kodashim mentioning that, but also Elohim, Elohim also signifying, hey, this is marks day 3, and the battle is over. What he said is already won. What he said he was doing is already done. He was exposing things he talked about before, brought it up. It was brought up in the spirit about spying out the land. Well, he is, and continues to purge the evil from his midst. So he continues to remove the spies of Hasatan, the messengers of Hasatan. But then he also continues to, he had 2 Kodesh witnesses, 2 of his messengers sent to Sodom and Gomorrah. He had 10 spies sent into the promised land, and Caleb and Yehoshua gave the good report. Come on in, Elohim is ready. The land is ready. The harvest is ready. It's plentiful. It's full. And it's good time for you to reap the harvest. Your people, there are people who are ready. There are people in position. There are people in placement and people in order. People who have been prepared and washed. I will give that word, Father, that you just brought to my remembrance. I'm going through my notes. It was a lot. Hold on. Get ready. Promises are here and being fulfilled. The reign and rule of Elohim is here and being fulfilled. The Shemaim is open. The Ruach is being poured out. This is the time of the Ruach, but being poured out. His messengers ascending, even in regards to his miracle signs and wonders. So the things he spoke of in Acts, what part of what he was giving me was union. Kodesh flock proceeds from their heart belief, their faith, the flocks preparing ahead to appease him. That's what the message was coming from Elohim with regards to his Ruach and his moving and the preparation of his people, and preparing in his washing their feet, washing the ones who are unclean, who are prophesied to be, but also selected for being a part of revival, selected for, as the word was released, what does this look like practically every day? It's not always the grandiose things as an assignment like Moses or assignment like Yosef. Sometimes the practical thing is like the woman who was actually Mary of Magdala, it says it in Nazarene, the Mary of Magdala who came and washed Messiah's feet, or anointed him with oil and wiped him down with her hair. Sometimes the assignment is helping the beggar like Eliezer. Sometimes the assignment is helping the man by the wayside who was attacked in the Good Samaritan. Sometimes the assignment is helping the man who's sitting in the chariot to decipher the word. Whatever he's giving you an assignment to do, sometimes the assignment is marriage, sometimes the assignment is children, sometimes the assignment is towards youths, sometimes the assignment is widows and orphans, sometimes the assignment is being in his Kodesh place and being steward over his word. Sometimes the assignment is feeding his sheep and his lambs. Sometimes the assignment is training people, his people, in the way to go. Sometimes the assignment is training your children in the way to go. Sometimes the assignment is trainings for men, trainings for women, marriages. So whatever Elohim has, sometimes the assignment is ushering in his rule and his biblical principles, his biblical citizenship, and his Hebraic worldview and biblical worldview within government, within legislation, within politics, within the community, within the city, within food and regulations, within trade, within commerce, within the global economy, within economics, within what's it called? Father, what are resources and currency, within faith, within increasing the faith and increasing the belief and believing in the Father, within teshuvah, within repentance, within accepting Elohim in his way, within agreeing with him, within delighting in him, within welcoming him, ushering in his presence into your heart, into your mind, into your soul, into your own vessel, into your being, into your household, into your neighborhood, your community, your estate, wherever you live, your organization, your what's it called? Health facilities, home facilities, care, within the standards of how you operate and communicate, within everyday life, within living, within the hope and the future. So Elohim rules. He does. He does. If you're a believer, you believe the truth, you believe the word. He rules. We don't read this. Somebody asked about the pseudepigrapher. We don't read the pseudepigrapher. We don't read the things that Elohim didn't instruct us to read. And let's say that he hasn't instructed other individuals. But of course, you can go to the King James 11 version. You can go to the Septuagint. You can go to, we could put a link up there for a resource that has different translations. And that's why we put the link for the Wycliffe Bible. If you go to the earlier ones, you will see the scriptures. We are in agreement of the whole scriptures and not separating and not dividing it and not saying something is not canonical or is canonical, not calling it not canonical because you didn't believe in Messiah. If you didn't, if and the argument between Quran and different things that, oh, this text isn't canonical, did you say it's not canonical because those people who identified it as that didn't believe Messiah was Messiah? They believed he was a prophet, or they believed he was of Joseph and Miriam, a carpenter's son, and that's all? What was the reason? When the scriptures point out to, it says, this is written about in the book of Jasher. This is written about in the book of ELOHI'M's. It mentions Hanak. It mentions the books of wisdom. It mentions other books. And so when it gives witness of itself, you take it to Elohim because he's confirmed. He said, don't take away from his word. He didn't say, have a conference, Geneva, and divide up my word, remove my books because you do of fear, or you don't want people to misunderstand, or different things like that. The interpretation from the Ruach. And you don't only live by the bread alone, but the word that proceeds from his mouth, but it doesn't contradict. His written word and his spoken word don't contradict themselves. Which is why it's a witness. Which is why the word then made flesh is also another witness. Anywho, thank you, Father, for your revelation. Thank you for your prophetic word. I am about to read this one that was a reminder. It was a reminder for me, but this is what he's doing and will continue to do. And again, it was from 2017. And I could go back in my notes, but this was a part of the study, and this was one of the things that came up because of one of the numbers, because of the value of 44, and because of the continuation of the Father continually showing us multiplication in double favor, double portion, double of 55, double of 33, double of 22, double of 44, the numbers of promise, 100 years with Abraham, 1,000 years, 1,000-year reign with Messiah. So in the points leading up to that, as he was doing 3, 2, 1 countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, and as he said, days in 3 days, and today the battle was won. And so I know that you gave that the confirmation to the Kodashim, Father, and I'll share it because it's in confirmation of the things that you were saying and witnessing to me. I should go through some stuff too, but hold on. Oh, there are many things he was saying. Get ready, get ready. And I could say specifically what he said. Some people he might be saying, get ready to give birth. Get ready for the things that are coming. Get ready for the promise to break forth. Get ready for what he's doing. There was another one that you said to me, Father. This is a prophetic word. I'm going to read the other confirmation from 2017. Get ready. To give birth. Get ready for whatever that promise was. The baby. We've had dreams of certain things of the babies of the ministries of different peoples in our lives, but also physical babies. Kingdom union. The union of Elohim, but also of the body. Remember that this was a message regarding the whole body. This is a message regarding the whole body. This is why it kept being the attack of the head, the shin, and the legs. Union. Flock. Proceeds from their heart, belief, their faith. Flocks preparing ahead to appease him. He's preparing his flock. He's making and setting apart his Kodesh flock. And the things that proceed from their heart, their belief. And he wants, as he said before, his people to have belief. They need the belief. Be in union with him in belief. Be in union with him in Kodeshah. Be in union with him and being set apart. Being in union with him and being prepared. Being union ahead of being ahead, because he's going before us. But don't try to go ahead of him. There was a dream earlier or something that happened earlier where somebody was trying to go ahead of him. He's already prepared the way. Don't try to go ahead of him. Be in union with him. Be prepared for what's coming. He is the head, but being prepared ahead of time, like the maiden with the oil, your lamps burning, your lamps lit, and your spare oil, to appease him. Prepared to appease him. That is a message for the whole body of belief. His union is Kodesh flock. He wants his house to be in order. He wants his foundation to be solid and stable. He wants the organization, the administration, all of it to flow and to be in harmony. It to be aligned with him, one with him, and prepared for his return, prepared for when he shall reign, prepared for how he sets certain things apart, even if the world fails to fulfill the duty of man towards Elohim. The Kodesh flock shall not. Prepared, even when he says Israel will be saved. For example, Israel is not just the seed of Abraham. Israel is not just the place. He said, what did Messiah say to the women at the well? The time will come where you don't just worship here, but you will worship him in Ruach in truth. The impartation, the immersion, time of the immersion for those who need to be immersed, who the Father wants to immerse. That's E44 right here in front of me. E44. To be immersed in the Ruach HaKodesh, a time of Acts, the book of Acts. He did it before, he'll do it again. Miracles, signs, wonders, revival, open Shamayim, belief in Elohim, increased belief in him, and knowing of him. Those are some of the things that were highlighted in the study of the words from Shin, Resh, and Gemal. The letters of the pictographs of the alphabet. The 22nd, the 21st, the 20th, and the 3rd. All adding up to 44. Nonetheless, here is the prophetic word that was from February 24th, 2017. I am seeing 44. This is from Lana Valzer. I am seeing 44 and 444 everywhere. The spies are being rooted out of your land. I'm sharing this because as a witness to what he already said to me, what I just said, and what I've been writing out in my notes and accumulating, and he took me to this one as a confirmation of the reference to the number 44 and of the reference to the spies. It was highlighted. We went to certain things. There were certain things that, of course, certain research and studies. We even went to our Hebraic studies and our biblical Hebraic textbooks. So we went to the places that the Ruach was just flowing and leading, and the ones that were highlighted, we'll share those. But the things that were to be tossed out, we're tossed that to the side, and we're just going to continue to highlight the main things that were pointed out. The other stuff can wait. So it says from February 24th, 2017, Lana Valzer says, I am seeing 44 and 411 everywhere. I did watch a video about the numbers as we learned about through biblical Hebrew and all of that before in Hebrew and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Anyway, and 1111 and all that kind of stuff from that. But not mysticism and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm seeing 44 and 444 everywhere. The spies are being rooted out of your land. The spies, this is why the battle is over and has been won. I'm going back to the exact phrasing. The battle is over. Rise up, let it be. That was what was song that was playing in the spirit earlier. There was a lyric in between the second rise up and let it be. The spies are being rooted out of your land. Elohim is moving the spies out of your land. He's moving the spies out of your land. Little by little, this is what he kept giving us about how going into the promise and Yehoshua and Caleb and him claiming back the land and him letting them into the promised land and him removing the enemies little by little. The spies are being rooted out of your land. This morning, I felt Elohim. I'm going to exchange the words. I felt Messiah saying to his people, or felt Elohim saying to his people, the spies are being rooted out of your land. I saw all the hidden areas being exposed, the areas where the enemy has hidden, where he has found a home in lies or fear or strongholds. The Father is shining his light on them and he is rooting them out. The hidden areas that have allowed the enemy to torment and to cause anguish and grief upon Elohim's people. These spies are being rooted out. And I say Elohim because remember the numbers in the references he gave us. El Shaddai, Elohim. The spies that the Almighty One that have continued to remain hidden. Those spies that have continued to hinder breakthrough, freedom, and fruitfulness. Those spies that have continued to empower cycles of death and destruction. Those spies that have continued to empower cycles of delay and pain. Elohim is rooting out the spies. It's like monitoring spirits. The very areas where the enemy thought he had the greatest hidden ground in the lives is witchcraft. In the lives of believers. Some of these hidden areas have been there for generations. He mentioned generational curses, days ago. He is being exposed, he meaning the adversary, by Elohim and rooted out by the truth. Rooted out by the truth. The enemy is being driven out of your heart and soul and the land Elohim has given you. The territories Elohim has given unto his people. He's taken over everything. So even when it comes to different sectors of the world in the global economy, he will take over his territory. He's taking back his land. Remember, it's Elohim's land. The soul, your heart and soul, and the land Elohim has given you. Rehearse your Rhema. A dear friend, Anita Alexander, said to me this week how important she felt it was right now to rehearse your Rhema. And I felt that is a very spot on word from Elohim. It's a very spot on word from Elohim. There is some full of warfare taking place, and Elohim is doing some deep working of healing and deliverance in his people. It is imperative right now that Elohim's people are rehearsing their Rhema. Elohim has been highlighting the number 4, and he was highlighting 44 to me over and over. I have been seeing 44 and 444 often. My amazing friend Jody Hughes has articulated the meaning of the number. Jody Hughes was also brought up in the other witness that he gave us about the other numbers too, Father. I'm just giving reference to where the Father, and of course I already told you, well, I could tell you that the ancient Hebrew lexicon is one of the study tools that we were using. We use the Bible scriptures. Depending on which version we do read, one that has the complete text in it, it doesn't. So whether that's Septuagint, Sefer, we use Hallelujah scriptures, whether that is an old King James 11, whether that is from the Dead Sea Scrolls, whether you're utilizing multiple tools, but we were utilizing the ancient Hebrew lexicon for word study and search, and other Bible study tools and other lexicon tools with regards to the names and the numbers and the meanings. And we did also use an online resource. I don't quite remember the name of the woman who did this word study. But Father, I give credit to those people too. My amazing friend Jody already read that. She had articulated the meaning of the number 4 so accurately here. Open door, creative miracles, creative opportunities, opening, invitation to encounter fresh intimacy with Elohim. I'm going to read it, but let me see if it's here on my thing really quickly to give account to. Strong's, the Bible Hub was one of the references. Of course, the Blue Letter Bible was a quick reference. BibleStudy.org, AncientHebrew.org, BibleHub.org. I'm looking for this lady. Gabrielle Levy.com, GabrielleLevy.com. On her research, on her studies, on the words and letters, and this was in addition to the ancient Hebrew lexicon, our hard copy, but also the online study tool that you can use, ancienthebrew.org. Jeff Brenner, of course, is a reference to. I think we used for 21 for Shin Kebab, maybe even checking over that. But yeah, those are all the references. There you go. If you want to do some research and double check those yourself. And let me go back. I will put the link into this prophetic word. You can go right to Lana's website. Let's see if it's on there. But this is also was posted on a different platform. This came up with Google when we did a search for the number 44. in Hebrew, the Hebraic meaning, biblical Hebrew or ancient Hebrew or Paleo Hebrew or Hebraic meaning towards this, not mysticism, not no angel numbers and all that kind of stuff. So it says she had articulated the meaning of war so accurately here. Open door, creative miracles, creative opportunities, opening. Invitation, this is sweet to my soul, this part. Invitation to encounter fresh intimacy with Elohim. Come up higher, fresh perspective and increase of vision. Breakthrough season of victory. It had a reference to pouritout.org. As I have sat with Elohim on the 44 and the 444 I keep seeing, I felt him highlight two scriptures. 44, Matthew 4:4, he answered, the scriptures say, bread alone will not satisfy, but true life is found in every word which constantly goes forth from Elohim's mouth. Right now, in this incredible, intense, because that is another word for right now, the battle is over. That means Elohim is bringing it to an end, but it had been intense. Right now in this incredible, and some people might still be feeling that intense moment in the body of Elohim, where the enemy is screaming and manifesting because he is losing ground. The spies are being dispelled from the land, and Elohim is doing some deep deliverance and healing in his people. We must be taking the manna, the revelation that Elohim is giving to us every day, what he is speaking, and feast upon it. It is crucial that Elohim's people are meditating upon the Rhema word of Elohim right now. Feast on what he is saying through his word, through prophetic words, through dreams, etc. As you rehearse your Rhema in this season, lies, strongholds, hidden places and areas where the enemy has occupied territory in your life is being overturned. The things that have held you back in this season and through the generations and for your entire life are being broken off right now. In this season, is Messiah's name? Do you refer to him as Yahusha, Yeshua, Jesus? Elohim is changing history in lives right now. What has been a certain way in a negative sense, we kept hearing all of that slander about negative, for generations. He is not FOUR for, but FOR for generations. He is breaking, healing, and changing right now in this season. I kept hearing him say over and over, what was will no longer be. You will be free. You will somersault into victory. I remember hearing that in the spirit years and years ago about somersaulting into victory. Elohim is extending you and extending your land. He's not only giving you back the land that the enemy has occupied and stolen, but he is giving you back that land and more. Increase. 444. I felt Elohim highlight Psalm 44 and 4 to me. You are my sovereign and my El who decrees victories for Yaakov. No matter what you are walking through right now, Elohim is decreeing victory over you. This is your season of victory and deliverance. No matter what you are walking through right now, and when you look at Resh, Shin, and Gimel is walking. What you are walking through, the feet and the legs, what you are walking through right now, Elohim is decreeing victory over you. This is your season of victory and deliverance. Messiah, Yahushua said to those who believe in him, when you continue to embrace all that I teach you, embrace all that I teach you, you prove that you are my true followers. My true followers. Embrace all that I teach you. For if you embrace the truth, it will release more freedom into your lives. If you embrace the truth, it will release more freedom into your lives. John 8:31 through 32, the Passion Translation. I felt Elohim decreeing over this season. The truth will be told. The truth will be told. The truth will be told. And the sense surrounded me that the truth of his word and the truth of the revelation of who Yahushua HaMashiach, Christ, Messiah, is, his goodness and kindness is going to bring more and more freedom to Elohim's people, a greater wholeness of heart and soul, and the deliverance and rooting out of the enemy. The pain may be intense now, the struggle may be deep, the opposition and the heart surgery. The pain may be intense now, the struggle may be deep, the opposition and the heart surgery all happening at once. There was a dream where it was all of this stuff happening at once. There was things bubbling up. It was someone else's house. But if we wanna go into a spiritual reference, we could say Yehoshua is Yahuah saves, and Yahushua HaMashiach is Yahuah saves. So Yahuah saves. Imagine this is the Savior's house, and the foundation was being broken up, and water, it was like a sludge rising up through the bottom, and the foundations was unstable and unsteady, and the house began to shift. And the bricks began to move into one part. And I went out of a door with a baby in my hands. I went out of a back way with a baby in my hands, and emergency coming, firefighters and police officers. And there's two other levels. There's three levels. Well, four technically if you can include the basement. And up top, there's construction workers in different levels, and there's other things going. And there's one person coming in, and the father is cooking. It seemed like so out of place that the dad in there is cooking. It seems out of place in the midst of the firefighters and the police officers coming, in the midst of the construction workers being on different levels, in the midst of the foundation being shifted and shaken, and all of this stuff happening at once. In the midst of all of this, in the midst of other people being brought in and brought out, in the midst of other people showing up after the what would be the police and the firefighters, the response team showing in and showing up, Elohim was getting it in order, foundation set. And even it was shifted in a way that I went out and of the back. And then the bricks, when the house shifted, the bricks closed up. But I knocked down a brick and it created another pathway again. But it seemed too narrow and I didn't want to, take the risk. So I went around, but just seeing and watching and all of these things happening all at once. So it reminds me of that. The Father is funny. And you will get, it's also amazing how his word continues to, his word always, he always has the surface, he always goes into layers and layers and levers, like the levers of the Shemayim. He goes deep and he adds more and he adds more and he adds more, and he will give revelation on different parts and different portions and so many things. So, a greater wholeness of heart and soul, and the deliverance and the rooting out of the enemy. The pain may be intense now. The struggle may be deep. The opposition and the heart surgery all happening at once. But I want to encourage you. You are going higher. Remember the vision in the dream where he's like, higher, higher, higher. The song that was playing. The song today that was playing. Rise up, rise up. What was the other part of it? Rise up, let it be, let it be. So the other dream, higher, 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 higher. You are going higher. You are extending. What does it say? What did he say? Stretch out your tent pegs and expand the territory. You are extending, you are increasing, you are being made whole, strong, and free to move forward into your land of greater victory. This dream today was someone else's house. I was there, of course, witnessing the dream, but their land. This is a message for them and for others of the body that Elohim has this promise and this portion for his people. Remember what he gave me of the shin in the study from yesterday and today. This is why this is not just a word for one individual. The dream today was for a specific individual, but this word coincides for the body of Elohim, and it coincides for the many who he has given a word to and given a promise. Rehearse your rhema. You are extending, you are increasing, you are being made whole, strong, and free to move forward into your land of greater victory. Greater victory. The season hasn't changed. The season of victory and breakthrough is here, and the threshold we are crossing over is one of fire. I'm going to read you about Resh because of the fire. One of fire. This is one of fire, one of the Ruach, one of the immersion of the Ruach. Not only shall you be immersed in the name of Messiah, but you shall be immersed in the Ruach HaKodesh, the Kodesh fire, the living fire, the eternal fire, but as in not the fire that burns away the chaff. Yes, it will burn chaff away, absolutely. But the fire that will give you life is a flame that is ready, as it said, for the women, for the bride, for the maiden, for the word that we spoke before this, that came from the study of preparing his people to be pleasing unto him. Your maidens, your fire, you burning with that lamp, with that oil, and your spare oil, waiting and watchful, keeping watch at the door, pleasing unto your husbandmen, unto the bridegroom, unto Messiah, prepared, the washing, gone through the washing, drawing closer to him, feasting on his word, drawing closer to him. He says he draws you, right? He can't come unless he draws. He will draw you and go through the Son into the Father, drawing closer to him, feasting on his word, and rehearsing your Rhema. We are walking through an open door into greater freedom, favor, promotion, increase, and fruitfulness. He is decreeing the fours over you right now. This is a season of incredible open doors, creative miracles, invitations into deeper encounters with Messiah, bringing to life new levels of intimacy with him, an increase of sight, wisdom, discernment, and clarity. Oh, you gave a word and a reminder about you are making it so clear, Elohim. So clear. Wisdom calls out in the streets. Come here, you simpletons. An increase of sight, seeing with a father's sight. Look at your life through Elohim's eyes, through the eyes of the Shemaim. Sight, wisdom, discernment, and clarity. This is your season of victory, and you are moving into it. Don't stop now. The truth is being told to expose all the lies and assaults of the enemy in your life, heart and soul, and you will move forward, strong and free. Remember, the truth is being told. The truth is being told. You will move forward, strong and free. Hallelujah. I'll put the link to that. And of course, I'm reading with the interpretation of the Ruach. So when you read it, it's going to be things that I said that are repeated, that the Ruach had me repeat, that is not written in a word that he gave her specifically. Through how many years ago was that? 8 years ago. 8 years ago. That's 8 of new beginnings. 8 years ago of new beginnings. What was that? February 24th, 2017. Now we are going from yesterday of Resh. Resh is a Kodesh fire. Resh is a Kodesh fire. This is let's see. Elohim is awesome. I was like, look at you, y'all. Look at that. Just laughing every time. And he did this. He gave us a word before. He's given it again. He gave it on yesterday. And he shows you he is the same, shows us he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He could have somebody release something from 2017 that it was the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Even with regards to, I think it was also 2017, that was the second wisdoms of it, with regards to the word study. Let me see. I'm looking for Gima Reish. I'm sure it's the foot representing walk, and the water, when you combine them, walk to the water. Gimal, walk to the water, the Ruach. This is why he's been pointing to himself all this time. He's making it abundantly clear. Abundantly clear to walk to the water. Abundantly clear of the pouring out of the Ruach. Abundantly clear what he's doing in each and every one of us. And not only me, as people are like, that's just a word for you. But what did he say? Preparing, he said his Kodesh flock. He said his flock. His flock. What is he doing? He's saying the same thing and doing the same thing. It's not changing. He's the same, but he's also a fresh and a new. Anew. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of Elohim. Remember you said that, Father. Okay, this might be the reading from Gabriel Levi. The Resh, the 20th Hebrew letter, means head, leader, and beginning. It is a symbol of choosing between greatness and degradation. He was confirming all of the words that he already gave us as he talked about his standard. It is a word for poor, Rash. But when he told us to help his poor people, we're contributing whenever and however he says. He could ask you to do something practically for one day, and you do it that day. And then whatever he gives you the next day, you do that. It is the word for poor, Rash. But when it is filled, the power of the Aleph, it becomes Rosh, head or first, expressing the firstness, oneness. And I know there's other places who have updated or changed their understanding about different things, but we're reading with what he was like. I'm highlighting this to me. But when it is filled with the power of the Aleph, it becomes Rash, head or first, expressing the firstness, oneness, and eternity of the Creator and the qualities of being a leader, not a follower. Resh is a container just as Bit. Bit is the number 2. Has a value of 2. It is the second of the Aleph Bet. Bit 2 and Kaf 20. They're corresponding where they fall in line with the 22 Aleph Bet. Kaf 20 are containers, but while Kaf represents forms such as a cup or house, Resh 200 value, represents containing the infinite exponential growth. It also represents the constant transition, flow, and change of life. It is like a constant flow of energy, breaking through, breaking down into pieces, and building up anew. Breaking through, breaking down. It also represents the one of the what's in it? The teeth, the shin of teeth. Breaking down, chewing, eat the meat, eat the cud, chew the cud. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. The clean animals that chew the cud, a split hoof with, and they chew the cud. The resh, or their quadrupeds on 4. That's why humans are not chattel. That's why a system that declares humans to be chattel, quadrupeds walking on 4, that's not what Elohim ascribed to a human being to what he didn't ascribe humans to walk on all 4s. That's chattel and cattle that he did that. Anyway, the resh also relates to the reshimo, the spiritual DNA. Talk about spiritual DNA. Elohim written in the blood. The spiritual DNA we are meant to explore in life. It contains the secrets of Bereshit, Genesis, the beginning. As the word Rosh, head, it also refers to the secrets of the crown, Keter, the highest of the Sepharot. Although the letter Resh is situated close to the end of the alphabet, its primary meaning is head or beginning. There are 4 beginnings in the alphabet, comparable to the 4 new years enumerated in the beginning of the tractate Rosh Hashanah, relative to 4 different categories of phenomena. The ordinal beginning of the alphabet is the letter Aleph. Phonetically, the vapor, the amorphous matter from which the pronunciation of every letter is formed. The matter, the vapor, is like the ruach, the water, the breath, from which the pronunciation of every letter is formed, is the secret of the letter Che. In script, every letter begins from a point. The secret of the letter Yod, in relation to meaning, cognizant, intelligence, or wisdom. Resh means beginning. These 4 letters combine to spell Are, the lion, the first of the 4 Kodesh animals of the divine chariot of Ezekiel. They further combine to spell Yirah, fear or awe. The beginning of wisdom is the fear or awe or reverence of Elohim. In a kazut, we are taught that the inner experience of the soul, which serves as the vessel to arouse and contain ever new flashes of insight, wisdom, is bitul, selflessness. Fear, the beginning of wisdom, corresponds to the source of this state in the soul. Fear shocks ego, breaking the innate coarseness of the heart. That coarseness or egocentricity that prevents one from being truly receptive and perceptive to reality outside oneself in general, and the divine essence of all reality in particular. The 2 letters that fill the letter Resh are Yod and Shin, spelling Yish, which means something. In general, identify the Nekazut with the consciousness of ego or being a separate, independent entity, a something. Resh is the only letter pregnant with this feeling. in the Kazu, we are taught that though the lower something, the created something, appears to be totally separate from the consciousness of its creator and the creative force which consciously brings it into existence, nonetheless, its seeming separate somethingness serves in truth to reflect the absolute and true something. So the lower, the thing that is something, you are a being, you are something, created pregnant to be filled with the Ruach, right? And you're lower something, you're being. We are lower, we're under Elohim. Or if you look at a body, the lower parts and what makes life, the womb that makes life, and the members that the man's member and the woman's parts that make life, the lower somethings that to be filled and to impregnate and to make and to produce somethingness to reflect the absolute and true something, which is Elohim, who is truly and uniquely independent. Truly and uniquely independent. You are a peculiar people, a Kodesh nation, set apart unto Elohim. The cause of all causes, Elohim, the cause of all causes, who is truly the Ruach, who is truly and uniquely independent, the cause of all causes. The insight of divine wisdom is nothing between the two states of something. So even if that which creates life, a man and a woman come together, the two states between them of nothing that comes together and then creates something, or even the two things between Elohim, what Elohim, his spoken word and his word that creates and brings forth life. The waters are upon the water, the ruach of life. The nothing between the flesh and the being. And so you have your being, you have a soul, you have spirit, you have the ruach, which is the life and the light of men. Something that was nothing breathed life and breathed the breath into Adam to bring and create something. The insight of the divine wisdom is nothing between the two states of something. You were something, a thing, right? And he breathes life and creates something. The divine life and light and breath comes from him, and he breathes it into the matter, material, to create something whose ultimate purpose is to serve, to draw the consciousness of the true something, Elohim, into the experience of the lower something, the being, the soul, the flesh. In the power of the process of rectification, rectifying you back to Elohim, the ego must first be shaken by the fear of Elohim, the beginning of wisdom. Thereafter, one's matter, your being, can be purified and clarified in order to become a fitting mirror made in his image, a fitting mirror to reflect the true something, to reflect Elohim. This process of clarification dependent upon wisdom. You need a ruach of wisdom, ruach of Elohim. This process of clarification, clarity. What did the prophetic word say? Great clarity, intimacy, understanding, discernment, wisdom, shin, the wisdom, divine wisdom, dependent upon wisdom and its beginning. The beginning. The fear of Elohim is the beginning of wisdom. But wisdom was from the beginning, as the word says, with Elohim. Wisdom in its beginning, fear, is expressed in the verse, you have made all in wisdom. Made refers throughout the Torah to the process of rectification and clarification, rectifying you back and clarifying, giving you understanding. The Zohar paraphrases this verse. You have clarified them all with wisdom. Clarified, almost like clarified butter, cleansed butter, purified butter, or cleansed and washed and purified in the water and the fires of the Father and the Kodesh Father, the living water. You have clarified them all with wisdom, made them clean so they can even receive the impartation of your Ruach and the Ruach of wisdom. Wisdom doesn't dwell with the unclean. The art of clarification is the beginning of the end. Beginning of the end. It's the beginning of new life, the end of the flesh. The three final letters of the Aleph Bet are the beginning, middle, and end of the end, respectively. They are the beginning, middle, and end of the end. Elohim, beginning, middle, and end. He who was, is, and is to come, respectively. He is the end. He is the beginning. He's the first and he's the last. Aleph Bet. Just as the Sadi connects to the Kaf in its full spelling, these are letters in the alphabet. So the Resh leads in to the Shin. All the clarifications of wisdom ascending upward to their divine source. All the clarifications of wisdom ascending upward, currency, and flowing upward to their divine source, Elohim, in the flame, the Ruach HaKodesh of the love of Elohim and his people. His people, Israel. Resh sings the song, as the psalm says, he sings over you, a harmony, a frequency in his waters. Resh sings the song of the higher spheres, but it also gives permission from above. It gives permission from above. Resh sings the song of the higher spheres, the Shemayim. But it also gives permission from above to be and to do. A higher permission needs to be given, Elohim, because permission that is taken, Satan, without permission can become a deadly weapon. Sin, darkness, death. In Resh, there is the permission to wake up anew each day to a new life. In Resh, in the beginning, there is permission to wake up anew every day to a new life, as well as to wake up anew in the life after life. In the life after life. In the life after life, eternal life. I remember the dream about this person whose house it was today. The dream with the person today, their house, the person whose house it was. I remember a dream with them. They were in prison and they said, wake up. The letter Resh is related to progress, refinement, growth, learning, and being reborn into a new net. The letter Resh is related to progress, refinement, growth, learning, and being reborn into, what did Messiah say? Be reborn. Nicodemus was like, how am I to be reborn? Am I enter my mother's womb again? Reborn into a new net. It is the spiritual result of an honest effort. It's the spiritual result of an honest effort. Honest effort, pure heart after David, naked before Elohim. It is the spiritual result of an honest effort to develop and the readiness. Ready, remember he said prepared. The maidens that are prepared with their oil, he prepare to please him. Develop the readiness to pay the price for doing so. Count the cost. The readiness to pay the price for doing so. Willing, not only willing, but counted the cost. A genuine want for Elohim and desire. Pay the price for doing so. No man, don't put your hand to my plow and then, fulfilling the duty. Development is a permission to join and serve creation. Capital C, Elohim. To join and serve creation. Permission to join and serve creation at the level into which one has developed. It is not an obligation or a requirement one is born with or has to fulfill, nor is it automatic. It is something one needs. One needs to want and be willing to work for. This permission contains a renewed freshness and a throughout healing. Serving Elohim's cause, serving creation, the cause of creation. And I just thank you, Yahuah. Thank you, Yahuah, for your righteousness. So that was Reish. Only imagine what he will give you to glean from if you read the other words and you read the other study. I know what he was saying to me, and I know what it pertains to, what he was pertaining to, what I'm already doing in the continue of my assignment in him. And that also wasn't the part about the flames, so maybe I do have to read the part about the flames. That was Raish, but the flames is actually Shin. Okay, well, I guess we are reading some of this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're reading too, because of the time, for time's sake. So if you want to read Gimal, we already told you walking to the water. The letter Shin. Again, this is GabrielleLevy.com or .org. What was her? I already said it already. Shin. The 21st letter, and again, what we read accords with the study of the biblical, what we know and studied before, but also the biblical ancient Hebrew lexicon and the other lexicon and other resources. The letter Shin, the 21st Hebrew letter is, so accords means it's a witness. It's the 21st, or confirmation, Hebrew letter is a letter of fire in transformation. Shin literally means tooth, and its shape is 3 branches of flame. 3 branches of flame, 3-strand cord. These are the 3 pillars, foundation, of the tree of life, reaching high like flames, purifying and changing the condition of our lives, teaching us to become aligned with the whole of creation. It also represents the right and the left extreme opposites and the requirement to balance them, harmony, equal balance of weights and scales, balance them by following the central pillar, the middle way, or aka the narrow way. Don't turn to the left or the right. Both the tooth and the fire meanings of Shin refer to it as a process of transformation, breaking down, grinding into particles, building anew, cooking, the firing of a clay pot into a form, the firing of the clay pot, because he's the potter and we're the clay. The whole process of transformation, healing, breaking, and restoring. The fire also represents the unchangeable, the unmovable, and thus is a symbol of divine power. The spirit constantly transforms the matter, yet remains unchanged itself. The Ruach, spirit, constantly transforms the matter, yet remains unchanged itself. The Ruach remains unchanged. The matter, the clay changes. The clay is transformed. The mind is transformed. The heart is transformed. The soul, the Ruach, the spirit is transformed. But the Ruach of Elohim remains unchanged itself. The light, the life. Matter changes constantly, yet the spirit within does not change. So all of life is a process of learning to align with that unchangeable essence. Shin is the flame of the spirit, or the flame of the Ruach, or the flame of Elohim, which we must keep always burning, within us. Finally, the Shin teaches us balance. It is composed of 3 valves. The 3 pillars. Oh, we could have read about the heart valves and all of that. The 3 pillars of the tree of life. The right pillar is of kindness and mercy, the left of strict justice and truth. The world cannot. The right pillar is of kindness and mercy, the left of strict justice and truth. Then it says the prophecy of the truth will be told. The world cannot continue without both. So we must balance between the two. In all aspects of life, we must find the middle way, the narrow way, between the opposites and the extremes. The letter Shin appears engraved on both sides of the head. Definitely. On the right side, the Shin possesses 3 heads, while on the left side, it possesses 4 heads. In Kabbalah, we are taught that the 3-headed Shin is the Shin of this world, while the 4-headed Shin is the Shin of the world to come. The secret of the Shin is the flame, divine revelation, bound to the coal, divine essence, or divine, the Ruach. The coal is the Ruach. A simmering coal actually possesses an invisible flame within it, which emerges and ascends from the surface of the coal when the coal is blown away. Imagine that if you've barbecued before, like you use coals or something. The 3 levels, coal, inner flame, and outer flame, correspond to the secret of Kash, Mamal, as will be explained in the next letter, the Tav. One of the meanings of the word Shin in Hebrew is Shinu, change. The coal symbolizes changeless essence, changeless Elohim, the changeless Ruach. The secret of the verse, I am Elohim, I have not changed, meaning that relative to Elohim's essence, absolutely no change has occurred from before creation to after creation. The inner flame is the paradoxical. Then he give us the song of Sweet Victory. That's the paradox in your Mary box. The inner flame is the paradoxical, latent presence of the power of change within the changeless. The inner flame, the Ruach, the paradoxical, latent presence, the presence of Elohim, of the power, Elohim is the power of change. He's the power of change within the changeless. He is the changeless. The outer flame of the Shin is continuously in a state of motion, moving like water, and change. As in the above quoted verse, the changeless essence, Elohim, is the secret of the name Yahuah. The power of change, as latently present within Elohim's essence before creation and thereafter revealed, in the infinite intricacy and beauty of an ever dancing flame. You're in a dance with your Elohim. The intricate, infinite, and intricate. That's what one of my relatives said. The dance. You having a continual conversation and dance with the Father. And I remember last year, Father, you gave another dream about that, dancing with you. Before, he was setting a table before his enemies and dancing with them. We were sitting there doing a dance of waltz. But it is the secret of the explicit. Wait, let me go back. Creation and thereafter revealed in the infinite intricacy and beauty of an ever dancing flame. It wasn't really Fred Walls, but anyway, a beauty of an ever dancing flame, the continual flame that's lit, the maidens ready, prepared, is the secret of the explicit name of creation. The explicit name of creation, Elohim. Elohim. The only name of Elohim which appears in the plural. The number of the letter Shin, its value is 300, unites these 2 divine names as the flame bound to the coal. In Arbash, the name Havayah transforms to the letters Mem, Sadiq, Pet Sadiq, which total 300. The 5 letters of Elohim, Aleph, Lamad, Hid, Yod, Mem, when written in full, also equal 300. The 3 heads of the Shin of this world correspond to the 3 levels. The 3 heads of the Shin of this world correspond to the 3 levels of the changeless potential and actual change as discussed above. 3 levels. So if you think of Ruach, sun, and Elohim, Ruach, water, the blood are one. The 3 levels of changeless potential and actual change as discussed above. In this world, the changeless is symbolized only by a black, dark coal, not as the revealed light of the flame. Nonetheless, the endurance of the flame depends upon the changeless essence of the coal. The endurance of the flame, the endurance of the high, the endurance of the life and the light depends upon the changeless, the Ruach of Elohim, the changeless essence of the coal. In the world to come, the changeless essence will reveal itself within the flame. In the world to come, Chai, the Ruach HaKodesh will reveal itself within the flame, within the being, within the soul of the person. This revelation of the future is the secret of the 4th head of Shin. In the flame of a candle, one sees 3 levels of light. The dark light around the wick of the candle, the white flame encompassing it, and an amorphous aurora around the white flame itself. Each of these 3 levels of revealed light manifests a dimension contained within the invisible flame present in the coal. In general, the flame symbolizes love, as is said, as mighty as death is love, the flame of Elohim. The dark light corresponds to the love of Israel, souls enclosed within physical bodies. Souls enclosed within physical bodies. The white light corresponds to the love of Torah. The aura corresponds to the love of Yahuah or Elohim. These are the 3 essential manifestations of the love as taught by the Baal Shem Tov. These are the 3 essential manifestations of love as taught by that individual. The 4th head of Shin of the future, the revelation of the essence of the coal itself. The revelation of the essence of the coal itself corresponds to the love of the land of Israel. And as our sages teach, the land of Israel will in the future spread. Isn't he what? Enlarging his tent, expanding his territory. The land of Israel will in the future spread to incorporate all the lands of the earth. Will incorporate all the lands of the earth. Elohim will incorporate all the lands of the earth. His Ruach, his life, his light, his eternal flame, the Chai. The letter Shin is related to wholeness, Shlemut, to the completion, Hashlama, of the task, and to the state in which a person becomes, get this, the master of all his or her possibilities. The letter Shin is related to the wholeness, Shlamot, to the completion, Hashlama, of wholeness, completeness of the task and the state in which a person becomes the master of all his or her possibilities. When the scripture says that you be whole and complete. The completion of the task gives the person permission to choose the service they will be making on their continued journey. Are you choosing a service of Elohim? Are you choosing the service of High Eternal? Are you choosing the service of Elohim incorporating all the lands of the earth? Or are you choosing death and darkness and, to be what? As the tenant, the Ruach HaKodesh, supposedly life, as the tenant that resides in us is our higher consciousness, Elohim, so is Shin, the tenant or present, Shekinah, the steam, that resides inside creation. As the Ruach HaKodesh that resides in us is our higher consciousness, so is the Shin, the tenant or presence of the glory, the esteem that resides in all creation. Shin is immersed in the unseen world, the host. The Ruach is the host. The high consciousness that can develop inside the human complex is not an automatic part. The high consciousness, the wisdom of Elohim, that can develop inside the human complex, develop inside your mind, be renewed in Yahuah, is not an automatic part of the gift of life we have received, but a potential that can be developed by choice and requires a long-term endeavor. By choice, you can accept him. You can accept his rule code. You can accept eternal life. You can accept the mind and take on the mind of Mashiach. Take on the mind of HaMashiach. But it's a choice, and it requires a long-term endeavor. Renewed, as she said, you can be renewed daily. And not only that, studying to show yourself approved, meditating on the day or day and night. Thank you, Yahuah, for your word. Ooh-hoo, ooh-hoo. All right, we'll leave it at that because it's longer. And Father, continue to be esteemed and exalted. We thank you. You are abundant and righteous. And hallelujah. Continue to move. You have removed the spies of the land. You are working. You are spreading your tent. You are expanding your territory. And you are being esteemed. Thank you for lighting the flame of eternal life in your people. Thank you for encouraging them, uplifting them. They wanted the comfort. Here they have it. Continue to seek the Ruach and Yahushua Mashiach, Amen, and the Father. Shalom. Peace.